got a question for the men, especially the ones that say that they're good guys. If women
Yes, I do. It's time for regime change. As I mispronounced that. I don't self-proclaim as a nice guy. I'd like to think that I try to do the best I can, but I know that I screw up, and that happens. And by that I mean I don't always make the right decisions. But I've been in a relationship with my partner for going on 10 years now, and while we've had issues, we've done really well, and nothing's gotten exceptionally serious as far as problems are concerned. We've definitely had the usual run. I mean, in 10 years you're going to have issues, but that being said, no, I would welcome that. I think the change is needed. There is not, and I'm going to put this out there, there is not one male manager, department head, director of anything in any job I've worked that has shown me anything good, especially when it comes to making decisions for people over the company. It just hasn't happened. It hasn't. Every person in a management position has shown that even if it doesn't better the company, they will sacrifice the employees, wear them down, and I'm tired of it. Now, that's not saying that all women have been perfect in that. I have worked at companies where I have seen corporate yes men that were women, and it was disgusting, but I understand they were put in that position because they wanted to succeed, and they were willing to do whatever they had to do that because they know the alternative was not good. So I've seen that side too, but I, at this point, can't look at the situation as and go, if women were in charge, it'd be the same, because I think the level of compassion, the level of, understanding for what's needed in society would shift in a good way. I think that a lot of these companies would be ran differently, and thus the world would be different here in the United States anyway, because women understand the need for time off. They understand the need for separating work and life. They understand the need for having time away from the office. They also understand that even though you could probably push people past their limits to get a little more profit, it's not worth it. And I think that a lot of women would change things. And I know a lot of men would be like, well, what about that lady Renteros and all that? They were evil. And it's like, you're always going to have evil people, though. You're always going to have evil people. But the ratio is far less. Guaranteed far less. Because the men that run things, unfortunately, the ones that have gotten into power, have been taught and raised on the fact that you have to be ruthless to succeed. And unfortunately, where we're at right now, that's somewhat true. If you were going to be nice to people, you're just not going to get ahead. It may help you locally, because I know people make the argument that being nice does help you. It does locally to a degree, but only within the immediate group of people you know. Being kind to vicious people, especially people that run banks, that run businesses, it doesn't do you any good. So yeah, I think it's time that we got a lot more women into office. I think that should happen. President, Congress, all of it. Yes, we still need to be cautious of, what's taking place, but I find that more often than the boys club, women tend to hold each other to task a lot more often. If a woman becomes corrupt, other women call that woman out, and they seem to handle that a bit better. Again, not to say that you're never going to face evil anywhere. There will always be some element of evil or people that don't mean well in any position. But again, that ratio is far less when it comes to women. Far less. So I think the men who are afraid of this are afraid because of, as always, they think about what they would do if they were in charge, and that's what scares them. And the reality is yeah, there probably are some women who would come to power that would punish men for being as awful as they have been. But, in that, what comes around goes around, right? Or what goes around comes around, if I said that right. I think that there would have to be some kind of balance for it. At this point, I would rather see women in charge than this trickle feed of women trying to get power and then being punished for it. Just let the takeover happen at this point. Anyway, that's what I think on it. What do I know?